The OK Junior final for round one of the WSK Euro Series. About to take to a very wet circuit in just a moment. 75 drivers from around the world arriving here in the north of Italy for round one of the 2021 championship. Down to the final 34. The reigning champion, Alfio Spinner, well, he's racing in OK Senior, so we will crown a new champion in 2021. This is the first of 3 rounds. This is the first final for OK Junior. It has been a brilliant week. Let's take a look at some of the highlights thus far this week here at Lonato in OK Junior. Matias Ferreira, the Brazilian, took pole position in qualifying with a time of 47.562 on a dry circuit on Friday, but does not race the final after being taken out in the pre-final this morning on a very wet circuit. As you can see, racing in brilliant sunshine here in the springtime in northern Italy throughout the heats on Friday and Saturday. Rashid Al-Bahedi, the 2019 WSK Euro Series champion in Mini, back racing with us after missing Sarno 2 weeks ago. Springtime in the north of Italy. You would not know it though, because the heavens have opened. And the images we're showing you, they were recorded in brilliant sunshine yesterday. This is the scene here today. The rain has actually stopped for the moment, but it is still only 9 degrees Celsius. And there is a very gentle rain falling from the sky. It is cold, it is wet, it is grey, it is overcast. We are racing on wet tyres, no chance of a dry track, which suits the Englishman Harley Keeble quite well. He told us this morning he was not looking forward to racing in the wet. He says, I don't like racing in the wet. But this morning, he dominated his pre-final, winning by 16 seconds. He was almost lapping the field in parts. And he starts the final on a pole position in just a few moments alongside Rashid Al-Bahedi, who is back with us after missing Sarno 2 weeks ago. We told you that he is the WSK Euro Series champion from 2019. That was in 60 Mini. It's a different prospect for the Emirati in juniors, though. He starts on the outside of the front row of the grid. Last year's junior champion, Alfio Spinner, who remarkably took the title for 2 different teams, Kart Republic, and then finishing off the job for the Tony Kart Racing team. He's racing in OK. So a new champion will be crowned in juniors here this afternoon. Well, the race winner this afternoon, the 2021 champion, to be crowned actually on the 27th of June. That is at Circuito Internazionale Napoli. The second round of the series to be held at Adria Karting Raceway on June 13. And yes, the third round, that's where we will crown a 2021 champion in OK Junior on June 27 at Sarno, which will be summertime and hopefully a lot warmer, a lot drier, and a lot more pleasant than it has been here today. It has been a very nice week. You saw some lovely images of the flowers and the butterflies here at the circuit as the karts raced around. Yeah, that's all gone. It's cold, it's wet, it is raining. The karts are out onto the circuit. So we take a look at the grid for you, which has been led out by Harley Keeble. That's Rashid on screen. Keepsy from Grimsby starts on pole in the 306 Tony Kart. Alongside Rashid, then it's Maxime Rem, Alexander Gubenko in the Tony Kart. Akshay Bora, Wilmack is back, McIntyre out of 6. Spiergel, Kutzkoff, Kevin Lantinga for the KSM team, and Dowie De Decker, the Belgian. Francesco Marenghi and the Jamaican sensation Alex Powell, who won at La Conca. And it is Miguel Costa, Zachary David, Lenny Reed, Anatoly Kavalkin, Cedric Malk, Nathan Sharp, Adam Hideg, and Flavio Olivieri in the Praga karts. Cahol Clark in the Sodi kart, Maciej Guadic. Marcus Sartre, the Norwegian, in the Lennox Racing Leclerc karts. Gustav Wisniewski, Salim Hernandez, Mustafa Dalvin on debut in WSK, Andres Cardenas, Enya Frey, Maxence Verbruch, and Kirill Ditiev, the Russian in the Kart Republic. Oscar Wirtz scrapes into the final, as does the Romanian David Dragan. Baptiste Kiran and Yevan, the Bat David from Sri Lanka for Forza Racing, the final position on the grid in the 329 TN-powered Xpree. Harley Keeble absolutely dominated his pre-final this morning. Alexander Gubenko, his teammate, looked as though he would make it a Tony Kart all front row, but Rashid had other ideas. The Paralin on grid 2, 3-4-2. Alexander, the Moscovite, on the second row of the grid. The Tony Karts, 1 and 4. Rashid on the Paralin, looking to beat the Green Machines. 17 laps. This is the OK Junior Final, round 1 of the WSK Euro Series here at the centre of the karting universe, South Garda Karting. Up to the line, we race. Keeble, a perfect start. Maxime Rem for Ricky Flynn Motorsport follows the English driver through as Rashid is back to position 5. The Emirati misses the start badly from the outside of the front row. Alexander Gubenko trying to make it a Tony Kart 1 and 2 as he sweeps around the outside. Tries to get the momentum, but the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team driver from Germany, Maxime Rem, is there to split the Green Machines. Here comes the first Kart Republic, Akshay Bora. We also look for the Russian Kirill Kutskov. That's Akshay, 3-3-4. Great start by the American-born Singaporean driver, but Harley is gone. This is ominous for the opposition. He did this in the pre-final, but this is even more impressive. Before the end of the first lap, he's already got a good 30 or 40 metres on the rest of the field. Goes in deep, gets the drive, looks for grip where there is none. Comes across the line and Keaty is gone. Bora 1.2 seconds behind the top Tony Kart. And that is Kevin Lantinga from the Netherlands in the KSM Green Machine in position 3. Then it's Rashid, Gubenko. They go wheel to wheel. Maxime Rem, Matteo Spiegel. As Kirill Kutskov, Dowie Tedeka, William McIntyre, and Alex Powell, and Miguel Costa as well race in that battle, which rages from position 4 all the way down to 12th. Keeble, Bora, Kevin Lantinga, he's now been passed by Rashid. Great start by Kevin, the Dutchman, in the 356 KSM Tony Kart. A similar machine in position 1. Harley Keeble, look at the inside rear, it's flexing nicely. He's got grip on a greasy circuit. Harley Keeble from Grimsby on the northeast coast of England dominated the pre-final. And he's got 1.7 seconds over Akshay Bora in the Kart Republic. There is Rashid, slides like a WRC rally car down through turns 2 and 3. There is Kevin, the Dutchman, fighting with the German Maxime Rem for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Rashid with the old school style whirly visor to try and keep the rain out of his eyes. He goes by into second place and takes it away from Akshay. So it is Tony Kart, Paralin, Kart Republic, 1, 2, 3. Kevin goes through in 4th place, but look at the Dutchman's nose cone. It does not look, hopefully for his sake, it's just an illusion, but it doesn't look exactly as though it's been, no, it's pushed back. You can see that clearly. And he's now just about being pushed off the track. There's Maxime Rem going through, Kevin Lantinga in P5, but there is a question mark over the nose cone of the 356 Tony Kart. You compare that to Harley Keeble, 306. The lead kart looks perfect. There's Powell going through, head of Gubenko, Tedeka, William McIntyre, Marengi, Sharp, Clark, Olivieri, Costa falls back to 16. Adam Hiteg, Maciej Guadic, and Gustav Wisniewski. The two poles still racing together, and Anatoly Kavalkin rounds out the 20. Great start by Nathan Sharp in the energy kart. He's up into 13th place. Let's see what the Dutch driver can do. Look at Maxime Rem. Powell copies sideways coming down the hill. As Dowie Dedeker is passed by William McIntyre. The Birolart, who was in great form all week, started on pole position for his pre-final this morning. Did William McIntyre 3:40. The Birolart, but he's back in 10th place at the moment. Keeble, the gap was 1.7 seconds. We'll check it. 1.2. Rashid is catching him. This is almost a replay of pre-final B this morning when Gubenko in the lead Tony Kart, who incidentally is in 9th position. He pulled away and it looked as though he would emulate Keeble until Rashid in the parallel set about chasing down Gubenko in the top green machine of the Tony Kart official factory racing team. And now Rashid is closing in on the back of Keeble as well. Harley down the hill. Rashid in 2nd place. And Akshay in the Kart Republic still P3, just from Maxim Rem. There's Kevin P5 from Mateo Spirgel, Kirill Kutskov, Powell, Gubenko, McIntyre, Dedeker, Manengi. That was nothing sharp going through. There's Costa just ahead of Maciej Guadic and Gustav Wisniewski. So the Sauber Kart Republics all running together in 16th, 17th and 18th positions. That's not the result they were hoping for. After consistently running in the top 5, all those 3 drivers throughout the week, the gap was 1.7 seconds. It was 1.2 seconds between Keeble. It was 1 second. Now look at this. It's 4/10. Rashid is right there. Keeble driving as hard as he possibly can. The track is greasy. It is different to the heavy rain we had this morning in the pre-final. Al Dahedi from the Emirates, where the temperature in the springtime in the Northern Hemisphere, in the Middle East, is already north of 40 degrees Celsius. Harley's used to these conditions. No disrespect, he does come from the northeast coast of England. He dominated the pre-final. He's looking for grip. Rashid on the outside. Tries to take the Englishman. Now goes down the inside. Different lines from the Paralin and the Tony Kart. And the Emirati goes through to take the top spot. Keeble tries to get the drive. Rashid looks over his shoulder. Keeble does likewise. Now he's back to 2nd. They start lap 7 of 17. 10 remaining at the end of this one. The blind comes up on the radiator from Rashid, so he is watching the temperature of the TM engine. And he lifts the blind up. It is still quite cold here at Lonato, only 9 degrees Celsius. The rain has stopped, but the track is still saturated. It is now greasy rather than wet, very greasy. And Rashid from the Emirates, from Abu Dhabi no less, in the Paralin, who missed round 3 of the WSK Supermaster Series, goes purple in the first sector, purple in the second. The kart sits flat on track, which is usually not quick, but now it is. Different handling, different lines between the 2 different manufacturers. There's Maxim in the Cosmic for Ricky Flynn Motorsport in the background. A 103.73 for Rashid versus a 104.552 for Keeble last time round. Keeble tries to keep the wheel as straight as possible. Different conditions compared to this morning. There were large amounts of standing water on the circuit, not so much on the racing line, at least at the moment. It is greasy. They are throwing it around. It is sideways actions here at Lonato, trying to keep the drive. Massive wheel spin from these OK Junior karts, let alone the KZ karts, which we saw in action a few moments ago. There's nothing sharp going through. He's driven really well. He's got by Dowie Dedeker, fighting with Francesco Marengi, Cahol Clark, Maciej Guadic, Miguel Costa, and Gustav Wisniewski. Still the Sauber Kart Republics running together outside the top 10 though. A 103.624 for Rashid. The gap is now 1.8 seconds. Keeble dominated his pre-final this morning, winning by over 16 seconds. The only difference was Rashid was in pre-final B. There's Salim Hernandez going through. Head of David Dragan, Kieran Tees, Yevon David, the Sri Lankan, the final runner, because we have lost Flavio Olivieri, Andreas Cardenas, Zachary David is out, Anya Frey, Kirill Ditsiev, Cedric Malk, and after a great performance all week on debut, Mustafa Daldin also retires from the OK Junior Final, round 1 of the WSK Euro Series here at a very wet Lonato. Passing half race distance now. 8 laps remaining for Rashid Al Daher. He comes across the line. There is Keeble, 2.6 seconds back. Rashid Al Daher, the fastest driver on the circuit, at 63.59. Almost 1 second faster than Keeble. The gap is 2.6. Keeps it straight under brakes. The old school whirly visor. We have not seen that for many a year. They used to be common. They used to be virtually obligatory back in the good old days of 100cc, Formula A, Super A, and ICA. Rashid, who is, of course, mentored by Fausto Ippoliti, ex-racer Formula 3000 driver, mentor of Rashid for the past few seasons. I'd suggest to you that Fausto has got that very wily visor out of his old race bag, possibly. They do work, though. I'm surprised they still make them, actually. Maybe he found it on eBay. Rashid with an enormous lead over Harley Keeble. 3 seconds now in the wet conditions. Looks for the grip. You can see there is no standing water actually on the racing line. It is very greasy, very treacherous. As Lenny Reed for the Lanari racing team, after a great showing all week, the German now joins the list of retirements as well. We're down to 26 runners from the original 34. Rashid Al Daher, the WSK Euro Series champion from 2 years ago in 60 Mini. Also taking a Champions Cup title as well. Difficult first year in juniors in 2020. It was a difficult 2020 for everybody. You know why. But notwithstanding that, first year in juniors, second year, and he's really come good from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. Of course, home of the Abu Dhabi Formula 1 Grand Prix in his home city. Now the blind goes down on his radiator. 5 laps remaining for Rashid. Okay, 6 laps. As we get ahead of ourselves here in the wet conditions, the field have spread out. That was Clark going through ahead of Cavalcan, Adam Hideg, Maxence Verbruge across the line. The Frenchman from north of Paris for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. 3-2-3 on your screen. He's in 19th ahead of the Norwegian Marcus Sata. Oscar Wirtz behind. Then it's David Dragan, Hernandez, Kieran Tees, and Yevon David. The Sri Lankan, the back, the final driver on the track is Gustav Wisniewski, the Pole. His weekend is over. He joins the list of retirements. Wisniewski is out. Now there are 6 kilometres to race for Rashid Al Daher. The gap 3.8 seconds last time. We wait for Keebs. He comes across the line. In second, it was 3.8. It's now 4.1, another 3/10 between the Emirati and the Englishman. There's Harley Keeble, brilliant performance all week. Maxim Rem in P3 for Ricky Flynn Motorsport. Borak, Ubenko. Good result also for Alexander. Needed the confidence boost. He switched to the Tony Kart racing team from Leconca. Immediately won his first heat for the green team, but has been lacking the speed, really lacking the confidence though. Deserves a good result. He's in position 5. Remember, we did start with 77 drivers on the grid on a dry circuit for qualifying 48 hours ago. Four seconds between Rashid Al Daher and Harley Keeble. Round 1 of the WSK Euro Series. The second round to take place at Adria Karting Raceway on June 13. And the final on the 27th of June, where we raced 2 weeks ago, round 3 of the Supermaster Series. Round 3 of the Euro Series takes place at Napoli in the Northern Hemisphere summer. at the end of June. There's Marcus Sartor on your screen, 3:11, the young Norwegian, following in the footsteps of the great Dennis Hauger, also from Norway, who of course won multiple WSK Supermaster Series and Champions Cup titles. Marcus Sartor in position 20 for the Charles Leclerc Lennox Racing Team. 20 out of the original 77 starters. This is the driver in P1. Rashid now with 3 laps to go. 4.5 seconds last time, 4.566 to be precise. We wait for Keeble to come across the line. There's Keepsy in the background, 4.9, call it 5 seconds. Rashid Al-Dahedi on his way to victory here this afternoon. Just faultless from grid 2. Remember, he fell back to 5th off the start from the outside of the front row of the grid. And Maxim Rem in the Vortex-powered Cosmic for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, still in 3rd place. In fact, Maxim just does a purple middle sector. He's too far back to challenge Harley Keeble, though, 2.7 seconds behind, as you get a close-up look of Rashid Al-Dahedi into the far part of the circuit. To complete lap 15 of 17 this afternoon. Into the hairpin, almost runs off the road, looking for the grip as he accelerates. Still slight spray coming off the Vega wet tyres, down into turn 1, 2 laps remaining. Comes across the line. There is Harley Keeble, brilliantly driven. Of course, the young protege of Oliver Rowland, former GP2 driver, Renault Formula 1 test driver, competing this weekend in the eternal city of Rome is Oliver in the electric-powered Formula Series. His protege, Harley Keeble, in 2nd place. And speaking of his protege, the 313 of Cathal Clark, also a former driver of Oliver Rowland Motorsport, the English connection. William McIntyre, also from the Queen's England, he's in position 5 on this, the second last lap of the race. Rashid will get the last lap board this time round. He's 5 seconds well clear of Harley Keeble. That was Rem in the background. 1 lap remaining, 1.2 kilometres of possibly the most famous kart racing circuit in the world. South Garda karting, he clips the ripple strip down into turn 1. Keeps the wheel as straight as possible. Marco Parolin watching on from the grandstand, as he sees driver coach Fausto Ippoliti, the Parolin team from Bassano del Grappa. That's north of Venice, their boy from Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, here in the north of Italy, on his way to victory on the last lap of the race. Gubenko up into 4th place, incidentally. He'll miss the podium, but the Russian has driven superbly. He's back in form for the Tony Kart team, having got ahead of William McIntyre on this, the last lap of the race. 3 corners remaining. Rashid accelerates. A perfect drive. He recovered from not the best start into the final corner. The checkered flag is about to wave. Rashid Al-Dahedi from the United Arab Emirates wins round 1 of the WSK Euro Series right here at the centre of the karting universe, South Garda Karting. Harley Keeble across the line in P2, and Maxim Rem, the German, for Ricky Flynn Motorsport across the line in 3rd. .6 seconds. Rashid led home Harley at the end of the race. And Maxim, another 3 seconds further back in 3rd. Huge congratulations to the Emirati. His father Ali watching on live from Beijing in China. He's done it, the 2019 WSK Euro Series champion in 60 Mini. Now wins the first round in 2021 in OK Junior. Finally, the clouds start to lift. That is the snow-capped peak of Montebaldo in the background. We take a look at the highlights of OK Junior from the start. Keepsy goes into P1. Took the lead from pole position from Maxim Rem. It wasn't the best start for Rashid, back into 5th place, fighting wheel to wheel with Kevin Lantinga, who drove brilliantly all week, and ultimately the Dutchman finishing in P9. He picked them off one by one, did Rashid El Dahedi. Firstly going by Akshay Bora, who would finish down in position 10, and then closed in on the back of Harley Keeble, and then drove away from the Englishman to take the victory in round 1 of the WSK Euro Series for 2021. Al Dahedi takes the victory for the United Arab Emirates and the Paralympic Motorsport team. Harley Keeble, brilliant effort all week. Remember, he absolutely dominated the pre-final this morning for the Tony Kart Racing team. And Maxim Rem, the German for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, on the podium in 3rd place here this afternoon. Gubenko finishes in P4. Will Mack is back. McIntyre finishing in P5. 340, the Birol Art from Marengi. Nathan Sharp. Kirill Kutskov, the Russian, in P8. Kevin Lantinga and Akshay Bora in position 10. Rashid Al Dahedi wins round 1 of the WSK Euro Series. Stay with us. The podium presentation right here at South Garda Karting in just a moment. Podium presentation for OK Junior here this afternoon as they cross the line. That's not how they stand on the podium. A couple of changes here to the podium order here this afternoon. The junior podium in 3rd place it is for team driver Kart Republic, the Italian Francesco Marenghi. Second place for the Tony Kart Racing team from England, Harley Keeble. A brilliant performance here all week. He's back. He wins it for the Paralympic Motorsport team from the United Arab Emirates. Winner of the 1st round of the WSK Euro Series, Rashid Al Dahedi. The national anthem of the United Arab Emirates.
Okay.
The podium for OK Junior, Francesco Marenghi, Harley Keeble, and Rashid Al Dahedi.
So just in time, look at this, the rain stops. Apart from that, it has been a brilliant week of racing here at Lonato. We will be back in 2 weeks' time to conclude the WSK Supermaster Series, April 25. On behalf of all the team here at South Garda Karting and WSK Promotion, we'll see you back here April 25 in 2 weeks. Arrivederci.